Hi, good evening. It's Monday night, mental mind treatment night, and I wish you well. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Just a second, I just a little bit of reorganizing here, not much, just a little, just so that we're not just looking at my blinds there here. I might have to do something about that. This new computer has a different way of taking my picture in the background, so I'm sort of re-looking at a few things. Well, 2026, here we are. And with first mental mind treatments, just want to mention Marion has got the it's not crystal bowl, it's a Tibetan bowl that she rings for us so that I have energy and perception to keep going. I have some people already that have phoned, that have emailed, um, and plus myself, as well as also Marion. But we're going to start off with our, I'm going to say, how, oh, and I'm just here, Karen Marcus. I'm just going to write her numbers down to, that makes it easier because I get lost sometimes when I have a lot and I have a lot waiting here, which I've got on my sheet. Okay. First, I had an email from uh, '07 and looking at two things. One is his eyes, which we've been working on for some time. And this is one thing if you're a consistent tuner in, if you have a really big issue, then doing weekly ones for several weeks, maybe a couple of months even, we find it has a residue effect and it begins to work. So what we have here with who I call on this 007, it's not, it's math. I love math '07, but I call him 007. He has with his eyes, he picked three numbers for me, which was 3, 16, and 17. Now, and that's the tarot numbers if you're new to this. 3 is the Empress, great symbol. 16 is the Tower, meaning something from outside is coming in, disturbing everything. And 17 is balance. So, one of the things that I sense here is that there's needs, how do I say this? There needs almost to be an appreciation of what is happening. So when something comes along where you get upset or uncertain and kind of wobbly, that's how I feel, wobbly. So it's an uncertainty. You need to get yourself back into balance. Because when you get uncertain, like the tower means something comes in that you have to assimilate, you have to understand, you have to work with it. And that can hit the emotions or economics, all sorts of things. But it's what I see here is that you need to remember who you are and also rebalance your world. So sometimes we just have to take a breath, and in that breath, we're able to move through from there. So let me just do the mental mind treatment for the eyes. I know in the one power and the one essence, as I speak my word for '07 and his eyes. This is, I feel, a large level of acceptance and time through the lovingness of what you can see, what you can do, and not getting upset when things don't quite fit or work exactly the way you want. But just balance it all out, knowing that it is working, it is getting better, it is achieving. I just feel everything there gets a lot better. So this is a basic, you might say, a personal adjustment when things don't meet your criteria. And we know that you like things to be exact, but sometimes life isn't exact. So you need to have an awareness of that. The second thing you ask for around is financial independence. And you've got 2, 18, and 19. 2 is High Priestess, which is about choice, always having to make a decision. Which direction do I go? Right? Do I go left? But what concerns me more than that, it's an emotional symbol, but the second number, 18, is a more emotional symbol. And usually, what happens in the 19 is that we tell ourselves stories in our minds, which then touches into the emotion that may not have a basis in reality. So it becomes very important for you because of the 19 that you look forward to the goal that you want. You think that, you be that, you know that, and don't get caught up in your fears. Number 18 has a lot to do with fears. So I give thanks in knowing that our dear '07 is going to work with himself to be positive in the results that he wants. When I say positive, he's going to know and that somehow, some way, the results he wanted will be forthcoming. See, very often we think the results that are going to be, they aren't going to be coming forth. When we don't have a belief, when we don't believe that our life works, etc. That's one of the things that is important here to begin to believe and to know that no matter what it looks like, is that you will achieve what it is that you want. But you've got to hold that thought. So I give thanks in knowing this for you and being aware of that. I'm also going to give myself a little mental mind treatment too. I woke up very early in the night after just it was after midnight, but it was before 2 with a pain. I guess I slept weird or something with a pain in my shoulder. And that pain then, as the day moved on, moved down further into the muscle of my arm here. So I wasn't feeling very, very happy with myself. But when I'm a person that's often had to work through a lot of stuff. So I was like, okay, we got to get busy. We got to get things done. And so, anyway, I thought I'd put myself in the basically the whole healing pool. And I wrote down 12, 17, and 3, which is hanged man, acceptance of what is, acceptance of reversals. 17, rebalancing the energy for myself. And 3, which is the Empress, is just to accept you're loved. This is just something that's going on. It'll pass, and I know that. But it's being quite handicapping today. But I'm able to work with it tonight if I hold it close to myself, so we're good. So I give thanks for that. I truly, truly do. So Kayla sent me a long email, with no phone call this morning. And so she's been dealing with recovery from her surgery. So she wants ongoing healing and focus. And the numbers she gave me, and she's getting good at giving me numbers now, is 3, 21, and 12. Empress, success, healing, love. 21, balance is the world, balancing into the world. And 12, which is the acceptance of what is coming. So when I look at this and talking to her just earlier, I also it's about relaxing and allowing healing to take place. Having a focus, yeah, when you get tired, you've got to acknowledge the tiredness. And what I just see this is that you're on the path really, really, really well. You're moving exactly in the direction that you're needing to go into. I give thanks for knowing that when we look at for Kayla, that the healing, the focus is I just think it needs to be maybe moderated a little more, like you're tired, so you don't have to do that task or do that thing. Other than that, it sounds like you're doing very, very well, and it looks like it here too. So I give thanks for that. So it is. She also wants me to do looking at her grandson Connor, who has a phone appointment for work on Thursday at noon. So those of you that kind of come in on this new job. Now again, the numbers picked throughout 3, 12, 21, and 12 is similar. Here we have an opportunity that is really very good and can complete things. But 12 is accepting what is. Because the 12, we're in the hangman, some symbolism, you're hanging upside down. And so there's an acceptance that has to go on with that, and accepting of where you're going. And the best thing Connor can do, and what I wish and pray for him, is that he can be relaxed and just be himself, because that would make that wonderful. I give thanks in knowing that that phone is a phone appointment, so he'd be in comfortable surroundings. He can be himself and accept what takes place. Listen. I just feel he has to listen very carefully to the person who's interviewing him. I just feel that there is some step in there, not to just jump on what he says literally, but to listen to what he's really saying. Okay, I give thanks for that for Connor. Also, her brother, it's like I got the family here. The brother, her brother Jason, has cancer surgery on his eyes. We have no numbers here, so I'm just going to do a mental mind treatment, just as because I know what will maybe that will look like. So I'm going to speak my word for Jason, brother Jason to Kayla. And that on Wednesday, when he has this cancer surgery relating to his eye, that all the surgeon himself, the nurses, and there's somebody else, and there another assistant there that I see, are going to just be really aware that they catch it all, that they get it all, that it is done. And in doing that, then the recovery will be much, much easier, quicker, and event, resolved. I give thanks in this, and by saying, and so it is. Amen. And Kayla also gave me, my goodness, where's this one person per call? Anyway, it's not like I have loads and loads there. Jason's son has a new life. He's just come back from Thailand where he's been doing deep water. I think it's deep water diving, and he just loves it. So we're going to just give thanks regarding the new life. So again, knowing there is one power in one essence, and knowing that Jason, by Kayla, is ready to enjoy a whole new life, a whole new experience, new work, and just it feels revitalized. That's the feeling I have. It's like a revitalization inside. And if like I know, to me, I feel the Empress energy, number three. It's like bursting forth. It's almost like being on a racetrack, just waiting to go. It's just, okay, we can go now. And so I give thanks in knowing that the opportunities for him is to be able to take things almost like in his hand and be able to move forward. I give thanks in this as we release this. And for Kayla's and her family, basically, grandson, brother, son, all are well. There's a nice flow here of growth and progress. And I give thanks for that. Okay, so now we get to Marion. Marion, as we all know, it was wanting the new home. So I got 1, 12, and 3, which was Magician, Hanged Man, can't read my age, and Empress. All things are possible. The possibility of everything, and to me, it's the acceptance. I want to open not only my heart, I want to open my arms to allow in the abundance, and also, though it has something to do with difference, allowing difference in, allowing abundance in, and allowing just to be. Now, I give thanks for this because when we're looking for something new that's out of our sphere, sometimes we have to put away the old in order to embrace the new. And that's that one in the Magician. We're going to take that. Okay, let's have a look what treatment would look like. Knowing that there is one power and one essence, I speak my word for Miriam as she prepares for the new home, is not only the letting go of the old, it's like ensuring there is a whole new perception of possibility. sometimes we have, if we have a strong mind, is that we feel we've got to know the process or we've got to know where things are coming from. Personally, I found that life is very much opposite. And so, with that one being there, the magician, all things are possible. It's like opening the floodgates to see where and what is willing to walk through. And then comes the acceptance so that you can create. So I give thanks for that knowingness. I give that thanks so much for Marion. I don't get a timeline on it. It's like we've got to have a new perspective somehow, Barry. Okay, now I'm beginning to take a look here. Karen Merkus. So we've got, she just says 17, 13, and 1. Okay, don't know what this was. Hang on. 17 is the star, 13 is death, and 1 is the magician. I wish I had sort of a what is it, like a sense of the direction I'm going in on this. But let me tell you what the symbology says. In the star, it's like we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of awareness, and now we have to balance that in life with the new coming in and the old there as to which way it's going to go and how that's going to work. And the 13 being death says leaving the old without looking back and moving ahead because all things are possible. When I look at that without knowing any other detail, I want to say trust that as you are willing to make changes and move forward into newness, that all will be well. There is nothing here with some people look at the death symbol and no, it's rebirth. It's leaving the old, moving into the new. And to me, that is great. Followed by the magician. Everything is possible. Everything is there for you. So it's really about hitting out in the direction that you want to go, which is great. So I give thanks for that. I just totally give thanks. I'll take some of that as well. So Karen B says, good evening, Norma, and blessings to everyone. Yes, it was so good to hear from you the other day. May I have blessings for my friend Mark's surgery, another surgery, eh? Is it time? Okay. Wednesday and Morgan's. Wow, hospitals are busy. Morgan's, let me just hang on a sec here. On Thursday. Two cancer surgeries, and we've already had one coming up as well. Now, I don't have any numbers. I don't have any. I'm just going to have to just move through this. So let's take a look at Mark's surgery first. I just wanted to see something here. Yeah. Okay. First things when we're ever having surgery is very important to accept the process. If we go into fear of what may happen and what may not happen, then it's like the system gets tight. And that's why often they give you an injection of some kind to relax you or do whatever, maybe put you out so that your inner system is relaxed. But if you can have a mental process, to want to have the mental process of relaxing and knowing and trusting in what is going to occur and what is going to happen. Basically, for both these two, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, Morgan's is going to be easier from my perception, from what I can see here. It's going to be much easier. Mark's is going to be a little more complicated. There's going to be a longer recovery time. And his, what would you call it, emotional self is going to need to work to kind of get back on track and not be put under. Like when I say put under, not make it heavy. So that is something that you can remember and be able to work with that. So I'm going to put these two together for the mental mind treatment because they're two friends of yours, two people having them. I think they're friends or family, whatever. So I know there is one power in one essence, and I know the essence of life is there and strong and works no matter what it is, whether it's something you want, whether it's something that's happening, whether it's surgeries or not surgeries. I know for Mark and Morgan, who's both Wednesday or Thursday are going to be facing cancer surgery. The key is to be relaxed and trust. Now, if you have a spiritual core, if you have a spiritual understanding, you can do that. But if you, like me, have a very strong mental mind, sometimes it can get in the way. So you've got to learn to relax the mental mind part so that it flows a lot easier and you don't have complications. So I give thanks in knowing for Karen that both Mark and Morgan's surgery, and remember, Mark's may be a bit longer or have a little bit more complication at the end, but Morgan seems to be very smooth, very, very easy. I give thanks in the knowing of this as we release this by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Okay. I'm just I'm checking back here, make sure I'm on track. Karen's there. Karen B. Karen Bonnie. Um. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got that there. Now, who have we got here? Jack. Oh, Jackie or Jack or something. Is there an opportunity for a move this year? Numbers. Okay, I'm going to put Jack, whatever. Move 11, 13, and 19. Well, if certainly when we look at this, number 11, the justice symbol says you have to decide. If you want to move, you're going to have to decide it because it can be, and then you've got two numbers that both have movement forward in them. But if you're going to be sitting there waiting, like waiting for maybe an opportunity or waiting for whatever, that makes that harder because you got to decide, I want to move. And then the universe acts and gives the opening for this because basically you can. The thing is, 13 is movement out of the old into the new, and 19 is the embracing of the new. It's only this 11 that is the issue. So as you have to decide, you're moving. That's what people don't realize. It is the decision factor that you say and do that creates your reality. And what people think, oh, I want this, I like this, I would prefer this, but they don't say, this is what I want. It's having that clear decision. So the universe goes, oh, hey, that's what they want. Because otherwise it's like all things, a bit lazy. So, okay, Jack, we're just going to do a treatment on that. I know there is one power and one essence, and I know that Jack is desiring, wanting to move, and everything is ready for him to go, but he's got to get behind. It's like reminds me of the old horse buggy. The person who was driving the horse buggy had reins, and the horse would not move until you gave the reins a little flip and said go or whatever you wanted to say to get moving. And what I feel is like if I was close, I'd probably want to give you a push or a kick in the rear end or something. Oh, yeah, right. No, you're not supposed to say that. Anyway, that's what I would suggest. Get moving, make your decision, get clear because everything's ready for you to move. There's nothing blocking here. So if you feel you're being blocked or stopped, recheck your belief systems because you're probably not seeing clearly. Okay. Knowing there is one power in one essence, I know that there is an avenue here for Jack to begin to create what he wants. That everything is in alignment, but he's got to get in front of that. He's got to, or behind it, whichever way you want to look. But it's like to move it. You got to decide, yes, this is what I'm going to do. If you're hedging and fedging, it won't work because the universe goes, oh, they can't make up their mind. You gotta be clear in your direction to the people that work for you. The universal energy is there for you, but you've got to be clear about what you want. And that's when the miracles happen, by the way. So I give thanks in knowing that Jack has every opportunity to move. He just got to make his mind up and not deviate. And I release this thought knowing it is true, valid, and doable by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, who we got? I got that. Thank you. Melissa. Hi, Happy New Year from Melissa of New Zealand. Welcome. My dear friend Travis is my dear friend Travis watching over me? Okay. It's an interesting question. Melissa and Travis. No numbers. Really helps me a lot to have some numbers to work on because it's like otherwise I'm out there floating around looking at what's going on. I was hoping to go to New Zealand this your spring summer, and unfortunately I am not able to. I don't feel I'm able to go yet, so I'm waiting. Okay, hang on a sec. Travis watching over you. So I take it he's on the other side. He's watching over you. I'm going to do a prayer on it. I know there is one power in one essence, and I know that Melissa in I'm going to call it the real world, and the physical world. It's not the real world, it's the physical world. It's wondering if her friend Travis is aware. Now, I wish I knew how long he had been passed because that makes a difference. Because they can be around for some time and working to contribute, but they have to get on their own path. Otherwise, you're holding them back. Hang on, she might have written something down here further. 19th of July, 19th of November. That does not help me either. So I'm trying to make contact with him. How long? You can type in how long ago what did he pass over? Because that's crucial. Write it down for me, please. Was it 1 year, 2 years, 3 months? I want something like that. You've got 2 dates here, but it doesn't help me. I guess you've got some stuff down here. Hang on, here we are. He passed the 19th of July last year. Okay, so he's still around. The one thing for people who are left behind to realize that the spiritual journey of the one that is departed is that this is why we deal with loss when someone passes over. And thank you for putting that in. I didn't run it down far enough. I would say that the odds is that he's there. You may feel him, hear him, etc. But the more we get into the year, because 9 months is usually when they really are around, and then they begin to have to get on with their world. They have to get on with their lives. So the question is he around? I would say yes, but I don't know for how much longer. So let me give you a treatment for yourself to be strong in sending him what he needs. And knowing that, because one of those hard things we have when you're saying he passed suddenly, it takes, unless you have a very strong spiritual base, that can be very, very complicated and difficult. I appreciate that. But the thing is also to see the bigger picture as to why we're here on earth and where we head when we leave our bodies. Anyway, I'm going to do a treatment for Melissa. Remember, it's an alternative prayer method that I use a lot for people. I know there is one power, and I know where there is one essence, and I know that Melissa, from my own country of New Zealand, I feel the grieving for Travis. I feel the grieving, the loss of the companionship, the knowingness, him being there. But now it's already long enough to now begin to recognize that he has things he has to do. We just don't hang around. Really, if we're on a true path of growth and process. I give thanks in knowing that Melissa is finding strength in the awareness that Travis is taken care of. I give thanks in the awareness that Melissa has strength, purpose for herself to be able to embrace that his journey is coming up to being a little different than it was before. And so I give thanks in the knowing of this for Melissa and for Travis as they move forward. Because it isn't always easy when you lose somebody, especially fast, because you're not prepared. But that's where your philosophy comes in. What's your belief of life after death? What is your belief of what happens? Where do we go and what do we do? All these things become really important, Melissa. Breathe. Know he's still around you. I feel that. But you must be prepared not to hold on to the point where you're holding him back than doing his work that he has to do. Jack says, thank you. Melissa gave me all the thing. Kayla says that I'm not sure what that is. That he's here. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I think that's it. Please let me know if I missed anything, because sometimes I'm working on this chat and I get lost with numbers, and I'm trying to figure out numbers. I'm trying to do the prayers, and sometimes I mess up like everybody else in this world. But I think we got them all. If not, please put it in. In the meantime, just want to say what's coming up Wednesday. Oh, yeah. Well, I did goals last Wednesday. So this one's going to be a little bit different. And then, of course, on this last Sunday, I did Are You Aware? And I talked about the cup symbology of the tarot, if you haven't seen that one already. And I'll probably, not necessarily will, finish that off with the court cards. And cups deal with your emotions. And a lot of people don't realize that. Wands, that's your mind, that's your mental. Cups are your emotions. So it's interesting to see the journey of what we do with our emotions as we're going through them. Wish you well. Some of those that haven't been well, including myself, receive vitality, strength, purpose, and awareness. I also have a friend that's in hospital right now, so I do some prayers for her as well. Blessings. Talk to you again. Bye now.